Peace and blessings, everybody, and welcome to another Wake Up Wednesday Live here with me, your host, Asiya Nasir, and founder of nonprofit organization Jessica Cares. Jessica Cares is a teen girls empowerment platform where our goal and our mission is to help our girls to be able to build up the best sense of self-worth and self-esteem so that way they can walk into places and spaces feeling the best versions of themselves, having the goals and the aspirations and the braveness to be able to go after those goals. So that's what Jessica Cares is all about. And Wake Up Wednesday is just a conduit to being able to help our girls have these little gems and nuggets to be able to just navigate through life when life kind of hits them hard. And as we say, life starts lifing. So this is what Wake Up Wednesdays is all about. Every other Wednesday, I come on here to just share, some strategies and some tips and being very intentional about how we respond to things versus react to things, so that way we can be actually our best self, and it not be just a theory or something that sounds good, but something that we're living authentically each and every day. So welcome back to another Wake Up Wednesday here with me. I'm so happy to have you. And we have another great topic that we're going to be talking about that affects our teen girls each and every day. And it's a topic actually we don't talk about enough. We really don't. We don't talk about enough. And as parents, I don't think we're very intentional as it relates to how we deal or respond to our daughters when they're navigating this portion of life. And every one of us, and those moms that are tuned in, you can probably testify to the fact that, yep, been through that. And even as adults are going through that. So imagine our teen girls who haven't fully developed mentally in order to cope or understand how to cope emotionally to such a thing. We need to have this discussion so that way we can heal and grow and navigate this journey together. And the topic that we're talking about is friend breakups hurt too. So some of us, we feel or we're waiting for that moment where our teen girls, going to have that first heartbreak. And we're like, yep, it's going to be that boy that's going to break my daughter's heart. I know exactly what I'm going to say. I know how I'm going to deal with that. But a lot of us don't realize that more often than not, our daughter's first breakup or heartbreak is not going to come from that significant other. It's going to come from a girl that she trusted. It's going to come from a girl that she trusted. And I'm not talking about, just a casual acquaintance. I'm talking about that friend who became her safe space. That friend that she called her sister and really felt like this was more like family than it was anything else. And a lot of times when our daughters are crying over this heartbreak, that friendship that ended, that routine that she had with that friend. A lot of times, people look at it like, oh, she's just being dramatic, she's being emotional, and she's really not. She's grieving a connection that she had with someone that she may not have with anyone else. And that includes you as parents, may not have with anyone else. And I think the first thing that needs to happen is validating that feeling. And so I'm speaking to you, young lady, you need to validate that and not dismiss it. And when I talk about dismiss too, I'm talking as a community, I'm talking as family, I'm talking about, you as a person that's going through it, the teen girl that's going through that heartbreak right now. It's something that can't be dismissed. And we as a society and we as a community, we as a village, if we choose to dismiss how our teen girls are feeling because they're grieving over a friendship that is no longer, what we are teaching our young girls is to suppress versus process. And there's a big difference. And when you do that, it can have devastating effects because you can't heal. You cannot heal when you rush past something. You can't heal what you're choosing to just ignore. So when we as a community teach our girls to just suppress their feelings, it's not that big of a deal. We're teaching our girls not to process their feelings, and it will manifest itself in other ways. And in most cases, when it is something that is dealt with or manifested due to suppression, it's going to manifest itself in the worst ways. It's going to manifest itself in the worst ways. So we don't want to teach that. We don't want to create that type of environment for our girls. Okay. So now I want to speak to specifically to our girls. Like when you go through that breakup, right? When you go through that friend breakup, it's hard. I've been through it as a child and as an adult. And it's not easy. Because that person does become a part of your routine and who you talk to when you're going through something, and you feel like that's my sister friend. That's not just, a friend. So what I want to do is I want to share a couple of things with you as to how to navigate that breakup, because breakup can really be difficult. And if you don't have a place to go within yourself, or you don't know how to navigate this moment in your life, it can be devastating. So the first thing I want you to do is acknowledge the fact that, yep, I lost a friend and this really hurts, and not be embarrassed to say that. Not feel like you're being too sensitive, or you're being too dramatic, or you're being too emotional. Embrace the fact that, yep, this friend breakup, even if that person betrayed you, even if that person did something that warranted you no longer, having that connection, still grieve and still be okay with saying this hurts, and allowing yourself to show that it hurts, right? And one of the ways that you can show that it hurts is, we as women, we like to talk. We like to talk through our emotions, but not just talk to anyone. I'm talking about talking to someone. I'm sorry, I'm trying to navigate comments here. But talk to someone who you can trust. Navigate, being able to talk to someone you can trust. And I'm talking about an adult, someone who has some experience, someone who more than likely are going through the same thing that you're going through, but someone who you can trust, that actually listens to your feelings, listens to your emotions, listens to what you're going through. Because in this moment, you're going to need to be able to speak to someone without them interrupting you. And it's so important, because a lot of times, you as adults, you as young girls, you're like, I just want somebody to listen to me. I want to be able to get this out, right? So find someone who you can trust. And you may even be able to say that to that person. Say, look, I need to vent. I have a lot on my plate. I feel full. I feel like I want to just burst out into tears, and I just need someone to listen to me. And make sure you go to someone who is a great listener, someone who will listen to your feelings without interrupting you, without trying to fix it. Find someone who will just sit with you in that space that you're in that moment, being able to acknowledge your feelings and be able to express your feelings. The second thing is, don't try to defend your feelings. Don't try to defend your feelings. Well, that person did this to me, and that person did this to me. You can just be like, look, we're in a space where we no longer align. I have certain standards or boundaries that person has crossed, and let it be, with a period at the end. You don't have to defend yourself to anyone, and you definitely don't have to defend yourself to yourself. Be okay with the decision that you've made to not pursue that friendship or fix that friendship. If it's something that you feel brings you more harm, then good. Be okay in that space, even if it's uncomfortable. And sometimes the biggest growth is when we sit in our discomfort and learn how to navigate that and embrace that. When we try to run away from things, again, as I mentioned before, you're going to suppress it, and you're going to manifest it in other ways. Okay? The third thing is, don't try to replace that person. Don't try to replace that person, because that friendship was what it was. It brought what it brought. You had a connection with that person that you didn't have with anyone else. And although it no longer exists, be okay with that was our connection. And now you're willing to build new connections. So it's going to have its nuances. It's going to have its, different flavor to it. But be okay and not try to replace that friend with someone else. Because now what you're doing is, you're not allowing that friendship that you're trying to develop organically and authentically. You're looking for them to become someone that they're not, in order to fill this void that you have not processed yet. So don't try to, replace this person or replace them with someone else. Sometimes you just got to sit in that, although it's uncomfortable, and let that new friendship that you want to build with someone grow the way it should, just like it did with the other person. You know what I mean? Don't try to rush the closure. Don't try to rush the closure. Okay. So those are the strategies that's going to help you to be able to navigate. And whatever didn't work, just do some self-assessment and say, you know what, was there anything that I contributed to that? And if so, I'm not going to bring it to my next friendship. I'm not going to bring it into my other friendships. Okay. So just embrace the fact that that friendship is no longer, and it's okay. Friendships, sometimes they're not here forever. Some people come into our life and they're not there to be here forever. And I know it's hard in the moment, but just embrace the fact that you had that friendship and the good that came with it. The good that came with it, and be willing to move on if it no longer serves you. All right. So the next points that I want to make, I want to really talk to the parents right now. Forever moms that are sitting here, tuning in, listening, saying my daughter's going through that right now, or fathers that are seeing their daughters going through that right now. I want you to listen to this next point, because this is going to be a make or break for your daughter. What we as parents, we want to be problem solvers. We don't want to see our children hurt. If we see our children hurt and someone hurt them, we want them out of our children's life. And we're like, forget this person, let's just move on. And we have to I'm so sorry, we have to be in a space where we have to not want to redirect. We have to be in a space where we're willing to validate our daughter's feelings in the moment that it's in right now. They just had a breakup. And just because it wasn't a significant other doesn't mean it's less painful. Because oftentimes than not, they've shared more with that friend than they may have shared with you or anyone else in their life. So that breakup is very real. And we need to validate that and not try to redirect. And when I say redirect, sometimes we say some of the cruelest things, and it's not, we have bad intentions, but sometimes we'll say things like, oh, it's her loss. It's their loss. Or we'll say things like, you'll make new friends. That's very dismissive. That's very dismissive for something that's causing trauma and causing hurt, real hurt. It's very dismissive, and it speaks volumes to how you feel or how you value your daughter's feelings. So while it's not, words with ill intent behind it, it can still be very damaging. So instead of instead of redirecting, just validate and say things instead of that, saying things like, you know what, I see why that hurt. I see why this hurts you. I see why this is, taking a toll on you. And I'm here to listen. I'm here to be here for you. Whenever you want to talk about it, I'm here for you. And if they do open up, validate. I can see how that would hurt you. That is painful. That is painful. Validate their feelings and not try to redirect their feelings of what they should do next. Now, if the conversation leads to that, then you can give some strategies like I gave before. You can give some strategies, or you can share your own personal story of how you were able to navigate a friend heartbreak, right? So don't try to redirect. And it's so important that we do that, because I'm going to say this, especially when we're dealing in this sensitive moment in time. If our daughters do not feel heard, do not feel seen, do not feel that their feelings are valued, they will not come back and share these moments with you again. They will not. And sometimes they'll find a listening ear, but it'll be the wrong one. It'll be someone that's looking to exploit their vulnerability. It'll be someone that's willing to take take their vulnerability and take advantage of it, and do things that will create further harm for our girls. So make sure we create that safe space that friend may have that they no longer have. Make sure that if we're going to talk about not saying it out loud, replacing it, but be that replacement in the moment for your daughter to be able to be heard, to be able to be seen, and to be able to know, for our daughters to know that their feelings are valued. You know, friend breakups are not just a break of a connection that they had with that person. Sometimes, depending on the situation and the circumstances, it can break their confidence. It can break their sense of trusting their own decisions and, judgment. It can break down their self-esteem, in the moment. And if not handled correctly, it can damage them for the rest of their life. And whatever they didn't learn from this experience, they're going to take it not just in their friend relationships, but in every relationship that they have moving forward. So in this moment, it has to be dealt with the sensitivity and the compassion that it deserves. Our girls deserve it. Just because they're teens and may not have the vocabulary to express how they're feeling, listen to the words that they do express and give it meaning, give it value, give it validation, because it's worthy of that, right? So I just wanted to share, these little tidbits, because let's be honest, we don't want to raise girls that, don't learn how to process their feelings and understand their feelings. We want to raise girls that can actually go through a heartbreak, can actually process those feelings, and then more importantly, be able to heal those feelings. And they can only do that when they actually do have a village of people that actually care for them, validate them, hear them, and see them. So that's what I wanted to share. And young girls, take your time with this. Don't try to rush through this, and don't try to replace. Sit in this moment and navigate these waters, and find a trusted adult, whether it's your parent, a guidance counselor, maybe spiritual guidance person, that guide that can be there for you to really share these emotions and feelings that you're going through, so you can heal the right way and then move on to have, good and great and healthy relationships. So until the next Wake Up Wednesday, that is what I wanted to share with you. If you like the information that you heard today, please hit that like button and share it. Share it if you know someone who's going through this. If you're a teen girl tuning in and you know of a friend that's going through something like that, make sure that you tag your friends so that way they can hear this information, and let's all grow together. Let's grow this information that's here, so that way in the world web, those that are looking to navigate these emotions can find it. So liking this is important. And if this is the first time that you've been here at our Wake Up Wednesday, please subscribe to our YouTube channel or follow us on our Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn page to be able to get further content just like this, because we're here each and every, well, not each and every Wednesday, but every other Wednesday. We're here sharing information just like this. And if you have a topic that we have not covered so far and you would like us to, reach out to us. My email address is jessica@jessicacares.org. Again, that's jessica@jessicacares.org. So in 2 weeks, God willing, we're going to come back with another Wake Up Wednesday here with me. Thank you so much, Robert. We gotta, you know, kudos for our Wake Up Wednesday. So for those that are tuned in here, we hope that this is not going to be your last time. We look forward to seeing you again in 2 weeks for another Wake Up Wednesday live here with me, your host, Asia Nasia.